Good, good. Well, if you didn't respond yet, you can still do it in the chat. So today we are going to create some mythical creatures. And can you guys guess how we are going to make these mythical creatures just by looking at this? Any ideas what we will be doing?
Mashing two other animals together in Photoshop.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a few pictures of animals in Photoshop. We're gonna combine them and make our own mythical creatures. And you guys can actually, for this assignment, you can choose any animals or creatures that you'd like. I do have two examples, and I'm going to use the example today just to keep it simple for anyone who needs to just do it step by step. And then everyone else, you can you could, if you want to, you could pick your own animal and create your own creature. I have a message in the chat. Dory from Super Mario 6. I want it to be an actual photographs. So I don't know how you would do that. Maybe, yeah. Maybe you could do photos and then you could do that one for extra credit, just for fun. Just because with Photoshop, it's really for editing pictures, but you could still like combine that, but do like actual photos and then combine elements of that. So these are just some examples here. And these are objectives. So we are going to be working with and combining multiple images in the Photoshop workspace. We will make effective selections and masks and use them to blend images in a believable way. And we are also going to use color adjustment tools and layer masks to make blended images believable. So the questions that we're thinking about: what are the possibilities of Photoshop? How do I composite multiple images into one? And how do I make selections and combine layers with masks? Okay, so there's a couple tools here that I just want to review with you guys. So first one is quick selection. So the shortcut for quick selection is W, and it looks like this circled in red. And the way quick selection works is you just have your image and then you press W or use the click the tool on the left side of your bar, click the desired area that you want to select. And if you need to remove parts of a selection, you hold the Alt key. So this will allow you to subtract from your selection. And just like the paintbrush and the eraser tool, if you need to adjust the size of your brush to make a selection, you use the square brackets on your keyboard. Okay, so, and I'll demonstrate how to use all these tools as well. So how do we refine an edge? So once we select something, sometimes what happens is the edges of your selection might look a little bit rough or like pixelated. And there's actually tools. I showed you guys a little bit how to do this in the collage, a collage assignment, but this is a little bit different when we're not, because I showed you how to create like a gradient edge on an image. This is a little bit different because we're applying it to just a selection. So once you select the area of the picture, like let's say you want to cut out some wings and put them on like a cow or something, you select the wings, and then what you do is you go to the select on your menu bar and click select and mask. Once you go to here, this menu pops up where it says properties, and then you can adjust the settings as you desire, and it should preview the image so you can see what it looks like. But for this, what I'm going to do is smooth 60, and then contrast will be 40%. And then I apply the adjustments. Oh, that's awesome. You know how to do that. That's great. So hopefully when we're doing these things, some of the things will kind of overlap and it'll connect. I'm going to go over like just basic things today too, like, you know, opening your images and opening multiple images in Photoshop and then combining different elements. But what we're working up to is we're going to actually be doing a movie poster where we change all the elements in the movie poster. and like change the letters and everything. So we'll be combining all the skills that we've done so far into one project for our next project. So I'm excited to do that with you guys. But this is basically what we're working towards. So we're practicing and building skills so we can do that. And then the last tool, I believe we've gone over this before. This is just like free transform. You like when you're on Google Slides and Google Drawing, you know how you can kind of click, drag, make something smaller, bigger, rotate it. That's what free transform is. So we're also going to be using this tool. The way you use it, easiest way is just on your computer, Control T or Command T on a Mac. Because if you press T alone, it's the type tool. So Control T will allow you to do free transform. And that way you can rotate, freely scale, move things around, skew it, put it in perspective. There's a whole bunch of options. And if you want to hold the proportions of the image, which I'll show you, you hold the Shift key. I know it's a lot of buttons. So I'm going to do a demonstration now with the images I provided for the lesson. And just remember, any of you who are just joining us, you can use any animal pictures you'd like. You basically have one animal. So for this person, they use the horse as the background, and then they cut out the duck. So I'm going to review selection tools with you, refining selections, using the free transform tool, adjusting colors, and making layer masks to blend. Okay, and this is going to be recorded. So if you guys just watch along with me now. And if you guys, share my whole screen. If you guys forget, I can always, you can always replay the clip and do it along with the clip. Okay, so just confirm with me, you guys, can you all see my Photoshop screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I did was, so I downloaded both of my images from Google Classroom. And remember, these are the example. You guys don't have to use the example. You can do your own animals. So the way I open two images is I just go File, Open. And then I saved both of mine. See, I have some other animals here. I saved both of mine to my desktop. So you just find where they are, File, Open. And when you open multiple images this way, all it does is it just makes tabs. So you guys can switch in between, which is easy. So my lion is going to be my background. So I'm going to leave him right now. And what I'm going to do is click the quick selection tool or use the shortcut W. Okay. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm just clicking and dragging to select I want to do a little bit of his hair and the horns. Okay, so I'm going to do a little too much just to show you guys an example. Okay, so you guys see how I went too far and I selected the, let me make this a little bigger. You guys see how I went too far and selected the grass here? So what I'm going to do to get rid of that is I'm going to hold the Alt key while on the selection tool and see how the plus sign changes to a minus. Make it a little bigger so you guys can see. Plus sign changes to minus. So I'm holding the Alt key and I'm going to subtract now. And just stop me, you guys, if I'm going too fast. Just write in the chat. Let me know if I'm going too fast or if I can show you how to do something again. So Alt key. Got a message in the chat. Okay, so let's zoom in here. I need to fix. I gotta fix this little part right here. So I'm gonna make my brush. Why am I not able to? Smaller, here we go. Hold the Alt key to subtract. If you don't want to hold the Alt key too, you can always switch here at the menu bar. So we can switch by pressing minus, and then we don't have to hold the Alt key. Okay. All right, so I've made my selection. Oh, I want to subtract his eye too, so it's going to look crazy on the line. Okay. All right, so I've made my selection here. So the next step will be to do my mask, to feather my selection. How do you make your brush smaller? Okay, great question. So when we're working, the easiest way to make it smaller is using the square brackets on your keyboard. So all you do is tap the square bracket on the right to make it larger, and tap the square bracket on the left to make it smaller. And these are on my keyboard, the square brackets are like next to the letter P. I don't know what it should be the same on yours. So you can practice doing this, just making it smaller or larger. Okay, so now I'm going to select and, oops. So now I'm going to select and feather the selection. So I just clicked on the button to select and mask. I'll show you guys again. So select and mask. And I'm going to go to 60 for smooth. So what this does is just smooths out the edges a little bit. And then I'm going to put contrast to 40. Okay, so see how the edges, it kind of gets rid of those like rough little pixels that might be there. And we might not be able to notice it much right here, but when we paste it on the other image, we'll be able to tell. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just Control C, copy this. I can also go edit, copy. I'm going to go over to my lion and paste, which is Control V or edit paste. Okay, so this is too big right now. So what I'm going to do is use the free transform tool. So I can go edit free transform, or the shortcut is Control T. And I'm going to shrink this down. And you guys, please just let me know in the chat if you need me to go over anything or slow down. So right now, this is the wrong angle. I need to flip this. So what I'm going to do is just right click, and I'm going to flip it horizontally. There we go. Okay. So now I've got this, and I'm going to apply the transformation now and just press enter. Okay, so next thing I'm going to show you guys, we've done this before, but I'm just going to review again. I'm just going to adjust the colors a little bit. So I'm going to go to color balance, and I'm just going to turn down it. See how it looks a little reddy orange compared to the lion? I'm just going to take down the red a little bit and increase the yellow. And let's see here. It looks pretty good. And now I'm going to do image adjustments, and I'm going to adjust the brightness and contrast. Make it a little brighter. Okay, so next step, I'm going to do a layer mask, and I'm just going to see how it kind of looks like. Right now, it just kind of looks like I plopped it on top. We're gonna take a step now to blend it. So what I'm going to do is go to my layer. See, it says layer 1. I'm gonna change it to horns just so it's easy for you guys to see. On my computer, what I'm going to do is hold, I believe it's the Alt key. Let's see. Command Alt. Why isn't it working? Hold on. It's supposed to be the Alt key. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select my whole layer. Okay, select the layer. And I'm going to apply a layer mask, which is this little like camera icon at the bottom. So the way layer masks work is you can subtract anything from the mask using a black paintbrush, and you can add to the mask by using a white paintbrush. So I'm just going to use a paintbrush here, and I have the color set to black here. And you can adjust the type of brush. I went to a soft round brush, and I'm going to make it pretty big here. And then what ends up happening is if I'm selected, make sure you're on the mask here, because if you're over here, it's just going to paint. So you go to the mask, and what ends up happening is when you use the black paint, it ends up removing part of that layer. So you guys can see how it kind of starts blending. So this will allow us to make it a little bit more believable. Still looks pretty crazy, but we'll see when I'm done. Okay, so I'm just going around here. Okay, what do you guys think?
It's pretty good. The color of the cow is a bit off, but it blended in pretty well.
Yeah, it's pretty blended. I think so too. I think it's a little orange. So maybe I could do adjustments. What could I adjust? What do you guys think? Maybe the hue?
That looks better.
Yeah, that looks better. Looks good. Yeah, it's pretty good. I could spend a little bit more time if I wanted to trying to blend it a little bit more, but gives you guys an idea of how it works. Okay, so now I'm just going to go File, Save, Save As, and I'm going to save this as Mythical Creature. Put my name in it, and then I'm just going to save it as a JPEG. And then this would be what I would upload. Okay, so my idea actually for what I wanted to do for this is I wanted to do a horse. I wanted to add wings, and I wanted to add like antelope horns. So it was gonna be like kind of like Pegasus style, like but has horns. So I had an idea for doing something different, but I was just gonna show you guys that example. Okay, so I'm gonna keep moving now. So I did the demo. Okay, so now you guys, this is just the criteria of what you have to do. This deadline is wrong, I'm sorry. This is due next Tuesday, which is the 3rd, the 2nd? Yeah, Tuesday, March 2nd. And what you guys have to do is combine at least 2 animals together to create a mythical creature. And you guys can use the lion and the buffalo, or you can use your own 2 animals or more. So anything that you guys do beyond 2 images, I'll give you extra credit for. So the animal images must have the colors adjusted so they blend properly. So we wanted to try to look as believable as possible. So play around with those settings, like, you know, how I was adjusting this hue and saturation, the contrast, the color balance. So we want it to try to seem like they're the same picture. And your image edit must be believable and convincing using the layer masks and the refine edge settings. So try to blend them as well as possible. And the photo must be submitted in a JPEG format. Okay, so um, I'm going to start just by asking you guys how you guys are feeling about the project and lesson today. Do you feel ready to start on your own? You can just write in the chat. Which other we're cooking? Okay, sounds good, Nick. Sounds good. The other, oh yeah, the collages. Yes, so I'm going through and grading those and then uploading them on the blog. So I'll send out to the school too. Bye. They're so good. All right. Well, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm looking forward to seeing your work, and I'm going to finish grading the last assignment and looking over those.
Have a nice day, Miss Wood.
You too. Does anyone have any questions? All right, you guys, I'm going to post this on YouTube as soon as we're done. Have a great day.